This is Stacy Marshall with Printwear Magazine.
Matt Vassallo with the RhinestoneWorld.com.
Richard Greaves with ScreenMaking.com.
Brian Walker with RTP Apparel.
This is Peter Walsh with M&R, and you're listening to the Two Regular Guys podcast.
Podcast hosted by
Terry Combs.
Terry Combs.
Terry Combs.
And
Aaron Montgomery.
Aaron Montgomery.
Aaron Montgomery.
Keep on listening.
I don't know if these guys are that regular.
Thank you, Richard. All right, welcome to the show. It is Friday, February 4th, 2022. I'm Terry Combs, and you can find me at terrycombs.com.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery, and you can find me over at oursuccessgroup.com. So today, Terry, we've got a multiple-time Reggie Award winning Sassy subber joining us here. We've got Nikki Ademkowitz joining us, and we're going to talk about sublimation, just anything. The great part about Nikki is not only is she a wealth of knowledge, she's also super fun. So you get to have both worlds happening here. So really,
you got to be if you have Sassy in your title.
Well, she owns Sassy, and it is just amazing, just a joy to be around. So really looking forward to talking to her today. And as you can see in the comments, if you are tuning in live, lots of people excited about it today. Lots of sassy hashtags happening. So we've got everybody tuning in, and there. Mary said, say it, Aaron. So I think I got it right. Nikki Ademkowitz. So yep, I got the thumbs up. So I told everybody I literally was practicing.
On your early morning flight this morning?
Before that, I mean, this is
calling the
we
flight
got a chance to have Nikki on the show.
that man's chanting something. Something's wrong.
Nice. Yep, exactly. Yeah. So excited to be chatting with Nikki here in a little bit. Also excited to be back home. I just got back from a meeting out in Atlanta for Skills USA. So I can share a little update about that here in just a second. Right. But Terry, what kind of things have come up for you here recently?
Well, Aaron, as you know, I was recently at the Long Beach Impressions Expo show, and I just wanted to share one of those makes it all worthwhile stories. And we're all in education, everybody here in the green room and here, and so Anthony Schmidt from Gladiator Graphics in Murray, Kentucky, came up to my booth in Long Beach and said, "Hey, I was in your screen printing class 4 years ago in Chicago, and I remember sitting there and you're talking about all these success stories, and I was sitting there thinking, I want to be one of those people." And he came by my booth to say, "Hey, I just want to let you know I am one of those people now. My business is very successful, automatic presses, the whole 9 yards, and so, hey, anybody out there listening, we love to hear your success stories, and if we had a little part in it, it really makes us feel good to hear these things. And congratulations to Anthony for his success out there in Murray, Kentucky."
Yeah, excellent. And the other thing that as a note of that, Terry, is the fact that he came out to Long Beach, right? I mean, that was you had mentioned that when you were kind of giving the recap, but the fact that people came from I think you told me New York,
of the country. Right? Oh yeah, I talked to multiple people from New York City, Florida, Texas, Arkansas, Colorado, Montana, just everywhere. So it was pretty awesome.
Nice. All right. Well, I will give a quick recap update of what like I said, I was just out in Atlanta for the Skills USA meeting, and so quick update, because I know based on the comments here, people are showing up for Nikki, not us. So that no, we appreciate them showing up. I love all the hashtags. We got sassy all over the place. So thank you guys so much for joining and being here and tuning in. Yes, thanks everybody. And I was getting some kudos for actually getting the name right. So I'm pretty stoked. All right. Well, like I said, was in Atlanta. It was just a technical chair meeting. So if you're not familiar with Skills USA, it is a program put together. It's, in fact, there's I think 300,000 plus members of Skills USA that there's state competitions, but they culminate into this national competition that they have every year. And this is all technical and trade related programs. So, I was talking to people that were there to support the diesel engine competition or the appliance repair or, different things like that. So there are 100 and I think that said 104 competitions that will take place at nationals this upcoming year. And so just really cool, right? I mean, I just had an opportunity to spend 2.5, 3 days with these people that have that same feeling that I do of like, okay, what can we do to continue to grow our industries? They had the same kind of passion for their industry as, all of us here have for our decorators industry. So it was just a really neat experience to kind of get to know them, being the newbie. Most of the people I talk to have been, oh yeah, I've been doing this for 30 years. Or like, whoa, wow. Okay, well, I've been doing this since December and I have no clue what I'm doing. And everybody was super helpful. And so yeah, I'm really excited. We got to see the location. I've been to the Atlanta Convention Center before. We've had several SGIAs at the time there, and which are now Printing United shows. So, but it was cool to kind of go back. We got the kind of the tour, the back end tour of the facility and stuff like that. And so yeah, really excited. That's happening June 21st through the 24th, or maybe it's the 20th through the 24th. Out there in Atlanta, Georgia, looking to get some people to support. We're going to need equipment and some supplies and some sponsorships, and just we want to get prizes for the winners, and also looking for people that can be out there to judge and help out with the judging aspect of the competition. In fact, I think I saw Dottie in the comments here, and I think Dottie might be available to come help out. So I've got one judge, I believe. But awesome. So yeah, it really exciting stuff, and more to come, because I'm going to continue to ask the community here to support this event, which I believe is like really worthy. And so one quick thing, Terry, and then I'll be done here finally. I could never remember what Skills USA used to be, because there were a couple of programs back when I was younger. But so Skills USA used to be VICA. So if you ever heard of VICA, that would have been
right
what it originally started as. So I remembered in my school we had a thing called DECA.
Right. We did as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow,
it was previous century though. You remember that? So
I am going to my 30th high school reunion this year, the first reunion I've been to. So I'm excited about that. But that's a whole different story. All right. Quick question from Christine here before we get into the dad joke section. Says, is it cold where Terry is? He's wearing layers. We're having a heat wave here. It's 10 above where she's at in Michigan. But
I will say this, Christine. It's only getting to 65 today.
Oh my God.
So yeah. I am layered.
Do you have like a hoodie or like maybe a beanie cap or some mittens that you can put on?
Yes, actually in my luggage, because I'm leaving for Austin after lunch today, and hopefully if I get there anyway, seeing all 6 grandkids in one place. So
yeah. Awesome. And then I just saw a comment from David Gross. Thanks for being here, David. And he says happy to help with Skills USA. I appreciate that, David. Yeah,
fantastic.
I plan on reaching out to you here pretty soon now that I understand a little bit more about what I need to get my arms around. David, you were going to be my first call for sure. If there's anybody in Sublimation that's like kind of the godfather, I mean, David's the guy. So always start there, right?
I feel like this is a PBS fundraiser. Okay, and here's another contribution from
right. Use the hashtag help Aaron out. Okay. All right.
Now back to the doo-wop.
Justin says, I'm down here in Tucson with a beanie, hoodie, and jacket. So fellow Arizonan there for you, Terry.
Right.
All right. Well, let's get to the dad joke. I know we finally turned Christine Shreve to the dark side because I saw her share a dad joke on Facebook. So I'm assuming she's really excited about this. But Terry, you've got one from a friend of ours.
Indeed. Speaking of single digit temperature, this is from Chris Thomas with Atlas Green Supply in Chicago. So here's Chris's dad joke. A man calls his doctor and says, "Doc, you've got to help me. I'm addicted to Twitter." The doctor says, "Sorry, I don't follow." But
I didn't mean to prematurely giggle, but obviously I see it on the outline here. So that's a good one.
A good one. All right.
Very good
Hey,
one.
Aaron, before we dive in, we want to thank everybody for checking out the Two Regular Guys podcast. We are always looking for new guests like Nikki and, repeat guests. If you or anybody you know would like to join us, go to calendly.com/2 regular guys and share your show ideas. And we'd love to get these scheduled out. I think we're out through March right now, Aaron. If you are listening to the podcast version of the show, we would appreciate you sharing the Two Regular Guys with your industry friends right now so that they can become regulators too. And we would appreciate reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Yeah, we're there with Joe Rogan. iHeartRadio. We're just in a different pay grade.
Yeah, much different.
iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Podcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And those reviews are really, really helpful for us. And if you're watching us live right now, please join in with your comments and questions for Nikki. And Aaron, let's proceed.
Yeah, let's definitely proceed. And that section's always really hard for me, Terry, because while you're going through all of those shares, I'm reading the comments that happen after the dad joke. So like Katie said, Kim, come get him. And Kim Johnson said, "Oh my, Mr. Twitter himself." And Todd says that was socially awkward.
Good response.
Kim did say, yeah, he's all on his own on that one. So
it wasn't even me. It's Chris Thomas. If you guys have complaints, it's atlasgreensupply.com.
That's right. Okay. Chris Thomas, prepare to get some complaints coming your way. All right. Appreciate you sharing that with us, Chris. If you guys have dad jokes, we've been getting some, we've been compiling some. We'll talk about this after we get a chance to chat with Nikki a little bit more. But what we'd really love too is now that we're starting to get some dad jokes, how about some 5 things, right? We'd love to get 5 things from you guys. So if you, again, anything, 5 things that could be a conversation starter. And we're going to start pulling those out of the shows and posting them and try to get a little more engagement. So if you're thinking about, hey, I should send him a dad joke, think about sending us a 5 things first and then send the dad joke. Right.
It's pretty easy to do. Just put in your 5 and think of a subject and just start dropping in. And it's you'll have one in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Heck, sometimes we've had Eric do one at the start of the show while we do this. So.
As we're talking, you can see the lines filling in on the outline. Number 5. Pause. Oh, there it is.
There it is. And then Christine says, dang, I still owe you guys a 5 things. I keep thinking I should record one. Keep reminding me. We will every Friday. There we go.
I didn't want to say, but yeah.
All right, Terry. Well, let's get to the sassy subber here. I can't wait. I'm super excited about this. So Nikki Ademkowitz is the sassy subber, educator and cheerleader for sublimation business owners and hobbyists. She is the founder of the Sassy Subber Facebook group, the host of a weekly education broadcast on Facebook and YouTube called The Sass, and the proprietor of the Sassy Subber Designs Etsy shop and the Sassy Subber e-commerce site. A 5th-generation crafter, Nikki considers crafting to be part of her DNA. Nikki is also the guiding light behind the Sister Tribes, a union of female Facebook group leaders who have joined together to work for the greater good of the decoration community. The winner of 2 2021 Reggie Awards, Nikki lives in upstate New York with her husband, adult children, and pets. So welcome back to the show, Nikki.
Hello, gentlemen. It is freezing up here, Terry. So if you don't mind just sending that parka you're going to be wearing my way, it's like 17 degrees up here, and we have layers of snow and ice. So I may be making snow cones soon enough.
I have my puffy coat in my suitcase already. So.
You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. I think most of the United States is under, a cold, frigid warning, no matter where you are. I mean, if you're in Florida, 27 is very cold, but here in New York, that's spring weather, and we're wearing shorts, so it's good.
Yeah. I've shoveled my share of snow, but it's been about 19 years in Phoenix now, so. I think I won't do well.
I'm about 17 months away from heading to Florida, where I'll be opening up my brick and mortar with my sister. So we're 17 months away. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I'm very excited. We're joining my
You're already sharing news. dropping news bombs.
I am. I've got lots.
Well, Nikki, when we ask screen printers this question, it usually the response is usually, "Well, I was in a band." Tell us how this all started for you.
Oh, goodness gracious! So my original business is making hair bows and hair accessories, and it was called Little Princess Boutique. And at the time, my son, I was getting into embroidery. My son's like, Mom, no dude's gonna buy from Little Princess Boutique. So I changed my name to LPB Designs. Well, as my business started to grow and evolve, I was like, I felt like I needed something more. Well, my dad had just had a stroke, and we called him Mr. Sassy Pants. And because he got very sassy after his stroke. And I remember standing in the mall, and I was at one of these kiosks where they were making vinyl and doing sublimation. And I remember whipping around at my mother and going, I just paid $35 for a shirt to say Sassy Pants on it. And that was it. It all came down to, I wanted to make my dad a shirt that says, I'm Mr. Sassy Pants. And that's where it started. And I started this rabbit hole, if you will, of looking into what was that they were doing, like what was that process, and it just snowballed rapidly from there. And then I went and jumped in feet first and bought my first business package from Heat Press Nation, and it's literally just blossomed, and I just keep steamrolling, and I jump into all of this I don't jump in head first, I jump in feet first so I can always hit the door running. So that's where it all started, really, is just based on my dad and me wanting to make a shirt for my dad. And it didn't want it to be embroidered.
Yeah. That's so cool. That's way better than the band story, I'll tell you that.
I know.
I wish I was in a band. I wish.
Yeah,
that would have been really
kinda
cool, but no.
Yeah. And then, Nikki, for the younger people, can you explain what a mall is? I'm kidding.
One of these big box stores that has multiple box stores inside it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Good.
That's what a mall is. I know. It's kind of a new age concept, but
A lot of 15-year-olds kind of hanging out.
I don't know. They patrol the malls up here to where you can't be there without your parent now, unless you're over the age of 18.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. Yep. They have supervised mall visits now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to definitely go hang out as
I
teenagers.
just think gone are the days we used to go hang out at the mall.
Yep. Part of growing up at that time. All right. Well, real quick comment in from your sister says, I'm super excited about joining forces with you. So there we go. So
Yeah, we are
17
definitely
months.
forces to be reckoned with. One of the nice things is we're both digital designers. And so I have the Sassy Subber and she has True Digital Artistry, and we compete. There is definitely a fierce competition between siblings about who can create the best designs. And she'll put out a design and I'll be like, dang it, she just beat me to it. Or I'll do the same thing and she'll call me and go, will you stop doing that? And it's just, we get into each other's heads and we, sisters. Yeah.
This sounds like it's going to be awesome going to work together each day.
You know what? It'll be great. My mom is the referee. We should just say that Mom will be joining forces with us. So she'll be the referee in this whole conversation. But you know what? It'll be nice because I'll have my mom and my sister back. Yeah. And be able to join forces with her and watch her continue to grow. She's only actually been in Sublimation 2 years.
Okay.
And so I dragged her and she's like, okay, big sister's doing big things. I kind of want to dip my toe into whatever she's doing. And she is just killing it. I am super proud of her. And I'm glad that we're able to do this together. It's been a dream for the two of us, and it's in 17 months, it's becoming a reality. So
that's so
fantastic.
Cool. Yeah. Really cool. Awesome. Well, so I know you've kind of talking to us a little bit about the future here, but for any of the people that are tuned in that don't have all the background, tell us a little bit about your businesses before we get into kind of the more public side of the image here. You talked about being a digital creator, all that stuff. So give us the full rundown there, if you don't mind.
I have multiple businesses that are kind of underneath an umbrella, if you will.
Sure.
So my physical shop is LPB Designs. That's where I get to actually make items and press them. And so that's my physical shop. That's still standing and I still do that. And then about 3 years ago, I started doing lives in a Facebook group, and I started doing lives, and that's where the Sass was born. And we just kind of progressed from there. And that's when, after I became this, after I left there and started my own group, I became the Sassy Subber. And when I became the Sassy Subber, I launched my YouTube channel. I have my Etsy shop where I sell all of my digital files. So if you're looking for digital art for sublimation, you can head over to my Sassy Subber Etsy page. I also have a .com page, and I actually own a Roland because I can't just do one thing. I have to do 100 things.
Sure.
And do them all well, right? No.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least it's an attempt. So I have a Roland, and I have a Sassy Tribe subscription pack that I do every single month. And it's business stickers. And in there, it is a tribe driven subscription pack, meaning I have different vendors who make different things, and I'll offer kits in there, sublimation blanks, things that you might not have ever seen, get your hands on. Cool. We have pins in there. So lots of different things that are in there, but it's tribe driven. So it's not just me offering stickers. It's also MDF suppliers. So I'll reach out to Conti, JPP, JDS, and I'll get stuff from them. But I also bring in what I like to call the mom and pop businesses. So the ones that, are selling sublimation blanks, MDF cut, people who have laser cutters who are cutting MDF. I try to show them off. I put a little thing in there that says, hey, you're supporting a small business, or hey, you're supporting a veteran-owned business. And I put all that stuff in that subscription box. So it's basically a small business, me, helping out another small business, them, which in turn helps another small business, which is you, the end user. Yeah. So it's those I have. Again, I saw my stickers, my HTV decals, all of that stuff. So it's really just, I'm a fully faceted person. And if that doesn't just tell you I have a lot on my plate there, I will make business logos. I do some business consulting on the side. I will also, I also have like a store kind of like Teespring where people will come to me. I make all the goods and then they get part of the profits, kind of like a fundraiser, so to speak. Yeah. And I have a couple of those stores as well. So cool. If I don't have enough on my plate.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did you carve out this hour for us? Holy cow.
It was hard. It was hard. No, it's good. Fridays are kind of my downtime. So I kind of try to, this is when I kind of do all this stuff, and I do all my back office stuff is on Fridays. Yeah. So
perfect.
Nikki, when this was a podcast, no video, Eric Campbell used to be a guest on here before he was producer, and we'd be talking to Eric about digitizing, and then we'd say, Eric, are you digitizing right now? Yes, I am. It's harder for you to sublimate while you're talking on camera.
It doesn't mean I'm not working on a digital design over here too.
Yeah,
and we're brainstorming.
I'm sure she's actually got something going there. For sure.
Well, we have a lot of sublimators listening right now, I'm sure, and they want to hear about products you sublimate. So what are some of the favorite items that you decorate? And tell us this, what product makes you groan a little bit when a customer asks you for it?
Now the tribe's going to laugh. They know exactly what product. And if I'm going to let them, they are going to know exactly what product is that I have the hardest time doing. I'm going to let them put it in the comments because you're going to laugh. They're going to instantly know this was a show in itself watching me struggle. But I'm going to go with that one first. I'll go with the ones that I love first. I love making towels. I love doing towels. I love doing baby products. Those kind of things, wedding products. Those are the fun things that I like to do. And you can see
comments are coming in.
Oh yeah, coming in hot at me, right? And I am the proud member of the 40 Tumbler Club. I have ruined over 40 tumblers. And in one show, it was when tumblers were first coming out, and we were all trying to put them in our convection ovens or try to put them in our presses. Yeah. And I could not get this right to save my life. And I was live doing a show that I call the Tableside Sass. It's my Sunday, let my hair down. And they would literally watch me. And they will tell you, they felt every frustration, every tear as it's rolling down my face. And trying not to say any curse words, because that is exactly where I was at this point. And I was so frustrated. I could not get this to work properly. And then it came to a point where I needed just to tuck it away. Just to tuck it away. I'm not going to put it in my wheelhouse. We're not going to talk about it. We're just not going to talk about it. And then I got a tumbler press. I was like, okay, please, just one. I only need just one, because this is bad. I've got 40 plus tumblers sitting out in my garage going, what are you going to do with these? Nikki, really? And I finally pressed one. I went live. I'm like, oh, they've watched you screw up over 40. Why not just one more to add to the collection? And I nailed it. And it was just the culmination of them knowing that this was my struggle, and that even I, who do a sass every single Sunday, it seems like I get it perfect. But what they don't normally see is that I have worked on that a lot. Just because I don't want to show that I'm perfect. I do show my mess ups, but the table side was to really strip it down and say, listen, I am just like you. I put my pants on one leg at a time and hit the door running, and just keep trying, just keep working at it. So those are probably the two items. The tumblers are probably my dreaded item still to this day. I literally go, but soft substrates are my jam. I love that kind of stuff. There's really not too many things that I can say that I overly love. I love a lot of things, but I also don't have a lot of things in my wheelhouse that I don't love either. Everything that's in my wheelhouse are things that I am passionate about, that I could press at 2 a.m. and know that it's going to come out because I've literally perfected my process. No 2 a.m. tumblers ever. Ever.
Nice. Yeah. So we got some great comments coming in. Lori said 40 tumblers, my favorite story to tell newbies who are struggling. And then Cindy shares the faces that she made. So
I am the queen of many facial expressions. That is for sure. If my mouth don't say it, my face will.
Yeah. All right. And then lots of the other great stuff too here. Patricia says the inspiration comes from seeing that she has the same problems as any of the rest of us, like you talked about. And I think that's really important. So glad that you do that for folks. And Shelley says she makes it so real, knowing that mistakes happen to everyone and to keep trying. So yeah, in fact, in your bio, we talked about the fact that you're a cheerleader. So we'll get to that a little bit here. So just to clarify though, the two that you kind of said were your favorite items were towels and baby products. Is that the soft substrates? I love it. Okay, cool. I didn't want people to get mixed up in that.
Yeah, no, those are my favorite things because, and I can't say that I attempted. I succeeded in doing a multi-press full baby blanket,
nice,
full bleed. I succeeded at doing it, and I did it in one try, and I was like, yes, that was something I was very proud of, and I used my own method, but I wasn't live, so that helps too. So
that's a good point. It's a lot different when you're live.
All the time. Yep,
for sure. All right, well, so obviously you've done a lot with sublimation. I mean, just the story right there with the baby blanket, that's pretty amazing, actually. I don't know a lot of people that have pulled that one off, but so that's cool. But I guess going back to when you started and where you're at now, are there some things that you kind of wish you knew beforehand?
There's a lot of things I wish that I knew beforehand.
Anything that stands out then? How about that? The
biggest thing that I could say I wish I knew was how much you were going to get frustrated in the process. Like it's not just one of those things that you could just jump in and get it right 100% of the time. I wish that that you don't have to be perfect right out of the gate, that buy extra substrates because trust me, you're going to need them. So a lot of newbies going, oh, I have 10 orders. I could buy 10 mugs and I'm going to get it right. And what it doesn't tell you is midway through, all of a sudden you might have just changed your process ever so slightly. You might have just not taped that, tumbler down correctly, whatever it may be, or that mug down correctly. And all of a sudden you end up with off-gassing, shadowing, the color's not right. And you're like, I only have 10 mugs. Why didn't this work out? So
based on your previous story, it sounds like you should have ordered 440 mugs.
I won't lie that I had 100 sitting here. So I had 100 sitting here. I might as well have just gone through all of them, right? But I was taking my own advice, and that was practice until you get it perfect. You're perfect, because your definition of perfect is different than my definition of perfect. And so I wanted to make sure whatever it was, that it was perfect for me. but making sure that I had enough extras, because it happens. Stuff just happens. You can't explain it. It could be the same way you do it every single time. At least that's the way you feel. It could be bad coating on something. You don't know. Always have extras. And I wish that was something somebody told me coming right out of the gate. I run a lot of projects that way. So that's the one thing that I wish I knew beforehand, but now I teach that. So it's worth the extra dollars and your frustration. The amount of frustration you can save yourself is worth its weight in gold. And just sit back and enjoy the process.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And, I think the great part about sublimation is how permanent and beautiful it is, but that is also the challenge, right? So even if you didn't, have one of those like off gassing or something like that, I mean, I've put things on upside down on a mug once before, maybe 100 times before, right? So I think that's so cool that you share that with folks, because it is. I've seen that a lot too, where, you ruin a couple of things, like, oh my gosh, no, you got to plan for that. That's got to be part of.
And then you feel like a failure. And that's the thing. You feel like you failed. Well, you didn't fail. You learned about your process. You learned that, okay, I got to remember to make sure that I do it this way every single time. And it's about the process. It's about the journey to get over that mountain. However you get over it, I don't care, as long as you get there. So it is a process.
Yeah. I love it.
I was talking to someone this a couple of years ago about DTG, and they sounded pretty frustrated and said, Terry, I have an entire box of shirts that I've ruined. And I laughed, and I'm like, oh, wait, you're serious? You didn't expect that to happen?
Yep. And that's it. They expect it to be perfect. Like it's sublimation looks like such an easy process. It's so easy. It's not. Do you know what I mean? It's really, it's not as easy as it looks. There is a lot more to it. There's a lot more pieces to the puzzle. And I think that's the most misleading thing, is that it's super easy to do and anybody can do it. Well, yeah, anybody can do it, but it's the process to get there.
Correct. The guy at the trade show said you just put it in the mud press. So
right, exactly. Button, and it just does its thing. You don't have to worry about lining it up. You just put it on.
The guy selling the mug press said that.
Right. Exactly. Always looks easier.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about having people watch you do these processes and things like that. What's the number one question you get from sublimators out there that somebody new tunes in? What are they asking you?
Most times is, where did you get that product? It's a close race between a couple. Where did you get that product? So I always have to answer that. And luckily, Eric is your back office, and shout out to Eric, back office person. I have two back office ladies who are quick with the links, Jody and Jess. And the other one is time, temp, and pressure. And I go, oh, time, temp, and pressure. It's like telling you about a recipe, time, temp, and pressure, but your oven is going to be 5 degrees off and whatnot. So it's where the education comes in. I think that those are probably the two main things: time, temp, and pressure, and where did you get that product right out of the gate?
Yeah.
Yep. Always.
Yeah. And I think the interesting part about the time, temp, and pressure thing, Nikki, is just like you said, right? I mean, just environmental differences could be a change, and it could have two things sitting right next to each other. And I think that is probably, to me, what the sublimation challenge is though it's somewhat of a science, right? You can get it down and get it right. A lot of times there's still a little bit of an art to it, right? You have to kind of understand what things are, what it's telling you if something doesn't go right. So I think that's really cool that you share that.
And what I tell people is, so when I give my time, temp, and pressure anytime, the nation's going to tell you, I always started out at 385.65. It's just a launching point. When people like David Gross give you time, temp, and pressure for their product, it's just a starting point. You have to adjust based on your press, your settings, where you live, all of that, the moon, the stars all have to align in a certain way, and, that kind of thing. So that's just a launching point. You then have to adjust. And that's why buying extras is key, because my 385 may be 400 for you. You're not getting a good enough press. Pressure is also very subjective, because what I feel is firm pressure, or squish the heck out of me pressure, or very light pressure where you're just barely pushing it down. It depends on your press. Some are automatic, some are, manual. There's so much to it. That's why sublimation is just not easy. There's just a process.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely is all about that process and then getting it right. But yeah, what the process is for you, is totally different than what it would be for me, even if we were trying to do the exact same things. And just like inks, or because I know for me, when I first was starting in sublimation, it was this 400 degrees, 60 seconds was like and people were burning everything. It's like,
right.
Right.
Exactly. It was the end all be all. That's what we had to do. And then all of a sudden we're like, you know what if you backed it off just 5 degrees? Sometimes that 5 degrees is the difference between a perfect cake and a well done cake, kind of
right.
thing. So that's how I equate everything. It's just like baking.
Yeah.
I could give you a recipe. I could tell you exactly how to make this recipe. I could give you all of my little nuances into it, but you are not going to do it the same way I do it. You have to develop your own method. You have to develop your own way of doing it. I'm just giving you the recipe. You get to decide what kind of cake you make. So
Totally. I love it. Perfect.
Thank you.
So Nikki, you were telling us about all the different things you do and make and create and all of this other stuff. But obviously, as you're sharing here, there's a huge focus for you on education.
Yeah.
Why is that for you?
I think that when I was joining, there wasn't a lot of education out there. There were some great tutorials, but I felt like there was a disconnect of, okay, this is how you got to do it. You're in a perfect studio. You're in this, you're in that. And I was like, well, what about me, the homegrown user that's trying to do this? I want to speak to them on real terms and say, hey, listen, I struggle too. Let's struggle together. And I made it look less scary. I tell everybody, I may not be your cup of tea. I will definitely be a shot of whiskey. So pick a good whiskey, but come along for the ride because it's going to be an amazing one. And I like to strip it all back and go, okay, hold up. Where did you not get this in the process? Because we all learn differently. Aaron, you could teach me how to do something and I'm going to learn it one way.
Yep.
And then Terry could teach the same exact thing to me. And I'd be like, what? How did you even get there? Right? Because you just don't know and how it communicates. So that's why I say I might not be everybody's cup of tea, because you're going to learn so differently than I'm going to learn, so I think education is just key. The more we share, the more we put those ideas out there, the more we help people think, just helps them grow a better business. And just make them feel not so alone in this. It's frustrating. It's a process, but I love to see their successes. I am the best hype girl you will ever meet. I will hype you up. I will be on that side.
I don't see it at all.
And I love being that hype girl. But I can't do it for you. It's like that invisible barrier. I get there and go, I can't come out there and go, okay, would you just let me finish it? Let me just do it for you. I mean, there's some things in digital design, I will watch them through their process and they're so frustrated. I go, just send me the file. I'll fix it. Just send me the file. Like, that's easy. I can help you with that. But when it comes to the pressing and stuff, I have a lot of people go, can I Skype you? Can I please FaceTime you, please? Because I need to show you what I'm doing. So I got to watch their process.
Yeah.
I became so accessible to them that's what made it a beautiful education. Because just like our normal teachers, my daughter is an elementary school teacher, and hands-on is the best way to learn. We miss that right now in today's society, especially with COVID, that hands-on. So the Skyping, the videos, that kind of thing helps with that whole hands-on feel.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. In fact, so talking about the inspiration and being the cheerleader there, Cheyenne confirms Nikki has pushed me to be who I want to be and believe in myself. So there you go. So congratulations. Nice job.
Yep. Yeah. When they have an idea, that was one of the greatest things. So I have the Sassy Summer group, and I guess you can say I'm the lead designer, right? It's my page. Yeah. So it's my group, but I have 8 other designers in that group. And, it's one of those things that I'm not afraid to say, oh, you want to be be a designer? Okay, let's do it. We'll do it together. I want you to open up an Etsy store. This one. Wait a minute. What? Do you realize that you are showing them exactly what you do? And I go, yeah, okay. You're going to make something different than I'm going to make. Go for it. Knock yourself out, as long as you're willing to put in the time and the effort. So I'm willing to be anybody's cheerleader if you're willing to let me. And that's what's important, because in this business, it feels very lonely, especially when you work from home. You're all by yourself. And I feel that this helps bridge the gap of that lonely feeling. So
that's
how
awesome.
I do it.
That's awesome. That's great.
That's why Aaron and I talk every Friday.
we have the same type of things on Friday. It's called Zoomy Friday.
There you go.
Yeah, we have Zoomy
Nice.
Fridays.
Yes, awesome. All right. Quick question from one of the listeners, regulators here. Kristen asks specifically about some sublimation stuff here. Items with certain coatings are more expensive. Have you found that they are worth the extra cost? So do you have any feedback on that, Nikki?
No.
Okay.
There's a short answer. No, I don't. I guess I just don't realize if there is extra coating. I go and try to find stuff that is made for sublimation, and instead of just, out of the local store, I try to make sure that it's actually meant for that. I try to make sure I find quality products. So yeah. And honestly, it's all the part of doing business.
Yeah.
So you just adjust your prices accordingly based on the substrate you're purchasing. And if it's a little more pricier, well, then you make sure that you accommodate for that. It's something Aaron teaches. I'm taking the class. I know.
and you've hit it exactly on the head. It's about that perceived value. I mean, there are certainly, if you look at some of those things, it's the coating, maybe it's on a mug, it's washability, whatever it is there. But at the end of the day, if your customers don't see the value in that, then there is no real reason. But if you can talk them into that, then because
it's one of those things too. So I don't want to say, I'm going to say it this way. If you offer your clients crap products, they're going to accept crap quality and whatnot, right? But if you only offer your clients quality products, they're not going to know the difference. They're not going to know that there's two different types of coating, that there's a less quality version of a mug versus, a higher quality. If you only offer higher quality, then you've set your standards. And that's what I teach too. Set your own standards of what you feel quality is. And as long as you set those standards and you never offer them less, they'll never know that less is out there.
Correct. And the thing I would caution people there, if you'll allow me here, is if you do start though offering the less, right, and you say, okay, that's quality, the only thing that you've got to realize is that maybe somebody else is offering the higher quality, and so then they might know, and now you're giving them a reason to look elsewhere, because they're going to go, gosh, I washed this mug, in my dishwasher 5 times, and it's barely even there anymore, that kind of thing. So.
Right. Exactly. So you always want to offer quality because that's what you want for, someone to do for you. Yeah. So you become a quality snob.
There you go.
And that's fine.
Let's do it.
I like that.
I'm right there with you.
Yep.
Awesome. All right.
Well, Aaron, you can, sassy subber, you can be the quality snob. I think, I can see that on your shirt.
You know what? I've been called worse. So there you go.
Love it.
All right. Well, so speaking of education, let's talk trade shows. What do you have going on here for 2022?
I am beyond excited. I am living my dream this year. I am
Awesome.
living my dream. One of my goals when I started teaching the lives was, and Todd can tell you this, one of my goals was to go out and teach live, literally live on location, and to teach to a group of people. And I am living out my dream. That has always been the dream. And I'm so excited. I'm going to be at the EEM show in April, Applique Getaway in July. And although I'm not teaching in October, I will be at the Printing United show in Vegas. So
nice.
I'm hoping to maybe teach a SAS live from Vegas. I just want to say live from Vegas. I think that's just the dream right there. I mean, who doesn't want to say
live from Vegas?
Right, live from Vegas. It's a sassy summer, right? That's exactly what I want to do. But I wanted to be able to, with these other trade shows, the EEM and Applique Getaway, I want to be able to see your face. I want to hear you. I want you to ask me those questions and go, Nikki, can you do that again? Yeah. Or how did you do this? Like what we're doing here. But I really just wanted the human interaction. And I get to live that dream this year. I am so excited. I'm beyond excited. That's why I always joke that Aaron's going to be sick of me by the end of the year. I get to see Aaron all year long.
We're going to be hanging out, man. I'm going to learn so much. This is going to be cool.
Well, yeah, Nikki, you can come by our booth at Printing United and be interviewed live from Vegas.
Well,
I would totally love it.
You know what?
I would totally love it.
I think we take that one step further, actually. And, yeah, we're going to have it all set up out there. We'll talk afterwards before we get to Vegas, but I think you should plan to do something there at the show. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. So,
you would make me walk on cloud 9. It would be just the best.
People are going to love it, and I think that'll be really cool.
And the tribe is literally invading Vegas. That is the thing. The tribe, I call my the Sassy Stubborn Nation. We call ourselves the tribe, and the tribe is invading the nation. And the sister tribes are all coming in, and we're all getting together, meeting in Vegas. I cannot wait.
Yeah. It's going to be really, really cool event, and I think everybody's really excited about it to finally get back in person. SJI, exactly. Printing United, whatever it is for you. It shows how old you are, but so that's gonna be cool. So real quick before we get off the trade shows here, though, share with us what you're teaching at Applique Getaway and everything Embroidery Mart.
So I am teaching all things sublimation. Actually, we're going to start with the nuts and bolts. So for people who are new and have never, even dreamed of what sublimation could be, but they've seen bits and pieces here and there on the internet. I'm going to start from the beginning and say, okay, this is what you're going to need. This is just the basics. Here you go. And then I'm going to actually press things live and give them some tips and tricks, and they'll get cool swag bags from me, that kind of stuff with some beginner stuff that they could use.
Awesome.
But it's just going to be pretty much the SAS all wrapped up in the trade show, and that's what we're doing.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, you've mentioned the sister tribe. You talked a little bit about it, but maybe just give us a little more details into what's it all about, really, I guess.
So the sister tribe is a community of Facebook group leaders, and we just all happen to be women. We don't have any brother tribes yet. So if you have a brother tribe, please let me know. We'd like to be the sibling tribe at some point. But what it basically is a bunch of groups that get together, who can network, who aren't just kind of punching each other out to kind of be the best group. And, we have everything here. Okay, no, that's not the truth. Not everybody has everything. But I can go to next level sublimation. That's one of the sister tribes. I can go over Applique Getaway, and that's another sister tribe. We have about 4 or 5 of the sister tribes together, but we could go in and out of each other's groups and talk about things and share our knowledge and be together as a bigger group. But we have smaller groups, and that's okay. It takes a village. And we're the village, and that's what we're believing, that it is a community. It's not a competition. There is no race to the end, because there is no end. We're always learning, and that's the beautiful part of it. So that's where we all kind of came together and like, why do I have to fight you? I don't have to fight you. I don't get it. I guess I just don't get it. Kindness goes a long way in this industry. And one of the things that I like to teach everybody is we're all real estate agents. I think of it that way. We're all real estate agents. We all sell houses. Okay. But if you're sitting in the office and you look at Terry and go, I got this house on 54th. I can't figure out why it's not selling. What's going to, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mean, you're the one selling the house, Aaron, right? But Terry goes, well, did you put a mat on the front door? Did you have them change the colors? Maybe it's the door color that needs to be changed, and it would be, better because it's turning buyers off. It's those little things that can help each other grow. It's the same thing in our business and in our industry. You don't have to be afraid to share your knowledge. And that's what it's about.
Well, and if Aaron asked me that question, I'd of course say, well, that house is haunted.
And you have to sell haunted, baby. Sell haunted. That's okay.
Right. Some people like that. So you
guys can't. You guys aren't afraid to share your knowledge with people, with each other. Yes. Are there trade secrets? Sure, there's trade secrets, but are they really a secret? Because if I know about them and you know about them, there's really not a secret in this industry. It just might be your recipe is different.
Sure.
And that's what keeps it different. That's what keeps it fun. So yeah, I think that's what it's about. I don't feel like we all have to be fighting against each other.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. And I love the idea, because like you were talking about even earlier on, when you talked about why you share and why you educate and stuff like that, at the end of the day, you still have to do the work, and I'm going to be different from you, and you're going to be different from me. And we're going to both attract our, like you said, not everybody is your cup of tea and vice versa. So
right.
I think that's just such a cool thing to hold on to. I think our industry for a long time didn't get that, but I feel like we're starting to get that. So it's really cool.
It felt like it was very cutthroat. And I feel like this is going to sound funny, Aaron, when I say this, but the stories, the fables that you hear, the tales of woe. And I'm thinking, I'm not in that story. That's not a story I want to be from, and let's put it this way. So my sister and I are both in this business. We're both cut from the same cloth, so to speak. But because my sister has eye issues, she's partially blind. So she's going to do it differently. We can have the same recipe, but because of her sight, she's going to be able to see it differently. And I'll be like, why can't you see it that way? So here's how I teach it. I don't care how you get there, just get there.
Yeah.
I don't care how you got there in this conversation, just get there and keep going, and we will get to the end. So stay in your lane and realize that lane is a curvy one. It's going to have potholes. Some potholes are deeper, some are, shallow. You're going to jump in feet first, figure it out, climb your way out, and keep right on going. Eventually, the goal is to get to that mountain that you see in front of you. But for me, I hope that I never reach the mountain. I never want to reach the mountain, because I always want to keep learning and growing as our business evolves and changes. And I'm going to take everyone with me. And we're going to do it together with laughter, kindness, and humanity, and we're going to just keep going. And that's what it's about. And I will stick to that every day of the week and be true to who I am. And as long as I'm true to who I am, I attract, my vibe is going to attract my tribe, and my tribe is fierce. So they are here. As you can see, they've showed up to the party.
Yes,
so
they have indeed.
Yep.
Awesome.
So.
Well, I don't know, Terry, if you can tell, but Nikki's a little bit passionate about this. So
just a little.
It's a
little,
smidge.
right?
I told you I'm a lot to handle, but that's okay.
That's awesome. That's so cool. So cool. All right. Well, so Nikki, unfortunately, we're out of time here, but let's just share with everybody, for people that are not familiar with where to find you. I know you've given us a lot of this stuff already, but where would you say, okay, somebody's heard this podcast and said, hey, I really want to get in touch with her. How should they do that?
Well, you can find me on everywhere on the interwebs. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm all over the place. You just look up the Sassy Subber and you will find me everywhere. I'm on Etsy. That's where I sell my digital artwork. Okay. If you want to see my YouTube channel, it's also the Sassy Subber. And that's where I teach the sass every single Sunday about 10 a.m. It runs about an hour or so, depending on what I'm teaching that particular day. And I show off all sorts of substrates. So I'm over there pretty much every Sunday. Cool. I have a Facebook group and a Facebook page. So I have the Sassy Subber Designs. That's my business page. But if you want to join the group, it's the Sassy Subber. Come and join. Come and join the tribe. We're a loud tribe. We are very active. We like to support each other and not just in business, but also in life, which is beautiful.
Yes.
So yeah, I literally just type in the Sassy Subber. I am everywhere on the interwebs.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, Nikki, this has been fantastic. Super excited. We're on video here, but big high five for you for just bringing it as usual. And can't wait to meet you in person out there in Chattanooga, Tennessee, coming up here in April.
I cannot wait to meet you and your beautiful wife. So I am absolutely excited.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Nikki, thank you so much. We'll talk to you very soon.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thanks, Nikki. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, just fantastic. So much fun. You can just see my cheeks are a little bit sore, actually, just smiling, nodding, going, yes, she gets it. This is so cool.
I didn't get a chance to bring up, though, when she said, when Nikki said she started with the hair bows, and I'm like, you mean like Penny on Big Bang with her penny blossoms. Remember that?
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that. That was a long time ago.
Eric's shaking his head.
Amazing. All right, Terry. Well, we talked a little bit about the 5 things here, so let's dive right into that so we can kind of close out here. After you do the 5 things, we can talk a little bit about how others can reach out and share theirs as well, and what we're kind of looking for there. So, are you ready, sir?
I'm ready. All right. Well, here's a good example, I think, Aaron, of what we're talking about with 5 things, just 5 points to think about. This is 5 factors that impact your screen print image quality. Number 1, start with good art and film positives. Number 2, maintain proper screen tension. Number 3, use the right mesh for the art and substrate. Most people use a mesh count that's far too low. Number 4, print off contact in one direction, either push or pull. Don't do both. Number 5, this is a do not flash between colors. You only flash your white underbase, nothing else. And those are the 5 factors that will impact your screen print image quality.
There we go. Oops. I just took you out of the stream. Oh, too many people pushing buttons, Eric. That's on me. That's on me. I'm not supposed to touch buttons, and I did. My bad. That was awesome, Terry. Thank you for sharing those 5 things. I know that we're kind of in a bit of a sublimation realm here after talking to Nikki, and we've got some more sublimation coming up next week. So I appreciate you continuing to get the screen printing in there as well, Terry.
Absolutely.
All right. So again, just like Terry did with the screen printing stuff, if you guys have 5 things that you want, you can come on and share. Like, you can join us just like Nikki did earlier today to be on the show, and just join us actually for the 5 things. If you are comfortable doing that, you can send us the list and Terry or I can read it. You can record audio that we could play. You could record a video that we could play. Whatever way you want to deliver your 5 things, we'll give you full credit for it. We'll even put links on our website back to your website for SEO backlinks. You know, that's always a great thing for your search engine optimization. So really cool opportunity to just share something that you think is worth people thinking about and growing. And it doesn't have to be, we've had all sorts of different 5 things,
5 ways to start your day. Someone did one time. That was it was great.
Yeah. Perfect. So anything like that. So just send it to us, info@2regularguys. Reach out to us there. We're still working on getting a tool on our website to allow that to be a little bit easier, but it's pretty easy. Anything scan a picture of a napkin that you scratched out 5 things on. That'll be totally fine. So, doesn't have to.
That would be a great visual.
Yeah, there you go. So anyhow, 5 things. We'd love to have you guys do that. And like I said, we're going to start kind of pulling these out of the show and posting them out there on social media a little bit more to continue the conversation. So I'm looking forward to that happening. But Terry, what's coming up for you event-wise here?
Okay, this month, my next complete screen printing business course will be at Workhorse Products in Phoenix. That is February 19th and 20th. That class is filling up, and as I said at the top of the show, it's kind of a nice time to visit Phoenix, Arizona. February 25th, I'll be doing specialty inks and how to use them properly at DAX in Kansas City. Also, that same day, I'll be doing Why is Getting Started in DTG Printing So Confusing? Again, in Kansas City. March 24th at 1 o'clock. Everything you hear about DTG printing on the internet is wrong. I'll be at the Impressions Expo in Atlantic City. Also, there on March 25th at 10:45, I'll be doing screen printing specialty inks. Again, Atlantic City, New Jersey. My upcoming screen printing class at Atlas Screen Supply in Chicago is March 5th and 6th. And all my upcoming 2022 class dates are on my website all the way through the end of the year. And all my upcoming events can be found at terrycombs.com. How about you, Aaron?
Well, coming up here and right on 30 minutes from now, we're going to have the half. It's Eric Campbell and I. We get to do a wide open Q&A. There's no scripts, no outlines, just answering listeners' questions and engaging and having a great conversation. We'll talk about just about anything. So come on over and check that out. and we do it exactly 30 minutes. We cut off right at 30 minutes, even if we're in the middle of a sentence. So it's been known to happen, sometimes maybe even planned. So so tune in over at liveosg.com, or you can also find it over at facebook.com/Our Success Group Pro. And so liveosg.com gets you to YouTube. So while you're over there at YouTube, you can also search for Eric Campbell, ERICH Campbell, and find the show there, or you can find it on his Facebook page over there. Again, Eric Campbell, ERICH Campbell. So tune into that in now 29 minutes. And then real quick before the other things I've got coming up, I did want to note that Nikki in the comments here said she will be at the Impressions show too. So there you go. She's going to be out and about this year. Love it. So you'll get to meet her before I do. So that'll be awesome. All right. And then other things coming up for me. You talked about DAX Kansas City. I am teaching a couple of workshops there at DAX Kansas City and DAX Chicagoland. Believe you already said the dates, but for Kansas City, it's coming up pretty quick here, February 25th and 26th. On Friday at 12:30 in Central Time there in Kansas City, I will be teaching, and I got the title right this time, Into Cyberspace, your new online customer center. This is a half-day workshop where you're going to learn and practice things like creating customer personas and identifying your ideal customers. Then we're going to talk about building a story and a process for creating so your audience will tune in regularly. And we're going to then also show you all the tech and equipment that you need, the setup that happens here. And we're going to also even go a little bit deeper, because a lot of times what is holding people back from creating that online content is fear. So I've got some techniques to overcome fear that learned through my Success Principles training. So we're going to cover the whole gamut in 3 hours there, Terry. Everything that you need to be creating content happening there at DAX.
And 3 hours or less.
Yeah, 3 hours or less. That's right. And the next day on Saturday, I'm going to be talking about pricing, another passion area of mine. So we're talking about 3 pricing strategies to avoid and what to do instead. So we've got that happening. Talked about the Everything Embroidery Mart coming up on April 29th. I believe it's the first day, maybe it's 28th. The first day I'm going to be there teaching is on the 29th. And actually, between my wife and I, we've got 5 different sessions there. So the 2 I really want to share with you guys, though, are the ones that I'm doing with my wife and the one that she's doing on her own. So on Friday, my wife, Kylene, and I will be talking about business owner mindset. Believe it's possible to overcome fears and take action. So we're going to put our Success Principles skills to work and show you how you can use those skills to have a business owner mindset that's going to take you closer to success. And then that same day, right after that, she is going to be presenting on her own, what is work-life balance, myth, dream, or possibility? And since I'm in the know here, I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert here. It is a possibility. So, so that's what's happening there for me. And then back on Saturday, and then you've got Nikki there. So yeah, lots of great stuff happening out there at Everything Embroidery Mart in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So that's it for me. The last thing that I wanted to share, though, this is a big moment. I really should have planned a little further ahead and come up with like a way to do some fireworks or a big celebration or whatnot. But today is the 100th episode of the Take Up. So just let that sink in. Eric has been, and Eric does.
If you saw me looking around here, I was looking for that confetti cannon that you sent me.
Oh, you're going to set that off. That would have been awesome. Yeah, that's right. So today, Eric is going to have a look back, perseverance and machine embroidery, where he'll review the most impactful lessons from the show so far and discuss how we can take on big projects, persevere in our machine embroidery, in our business lives, and in all of our creative endeavors. Head over to ericcampbell.com and you can click on the Take Up tab and see more and see all the playlists. And just congratulations to Eric, though. That's really cool. And
absolutely.
You know, the thing about it, Terry, is he does it on his own, hour plus, you know, big plus. Typically he's known for bonus time and like really deep cerebral, amazing content that he's sharing every week. So just to prepare for that, it's like a full-time job, and he just puts it out there for you every week. So I'm really proud of Eric, and think that you should definitely go check that. Even if you're not an embroiderer, there's going to be information here that will help you grow your business. So really excited about that. And then excited to see you guys out in Dax, Kansas City. He's going to have 2 classes out there, one where he's talking about advanced editing and a longer half-day workshop for beginning digitizers to get up to speed with their first designs. So if you want to head over to daxshow.com, you can get more information there. So, all right. So we'll check a couple comments here before we close it out. I know we're getting into bonus time, but I saw a few things that I wanted to make sure that we got to here. Todd said, super proud of you, Aaron, for putting on this amazing class. Couldn't ask for a better partner. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to those classes and doing that stuff. Christine says 100 episodes is amazing. Congratulations, Eric. Nikki, congratulations, Eric. So yeah, get over there and support him. Let's make this 100th episode his biggest episode yet too. So
I see Kim Johnson said the congratulations, Rich. So it wasn't me this time, Eric.
We may still want to blame that on you though. I don't know. Okay.
Could be.
Yeah.
She's literally upstairs in her shop. So.
I thought I heard the press buzzing. Yeah, that's kidding. I did not hear that, Kim. But all right. So Terry, what a great show! What a bunch of fun and just great information too. Just a great mindset, great bits of advice for especially folks that are getting into sublimation, but just really people in business. I think, having that inspiration and knowing that there are people like Nikki out there, those amazing cheerleaders that, they're just a click of the button away. So go look for the Sassy Subber everywhere you are online. You can find her out there, and make sure to subscribe and like and all of those fun things that we do on social media for sure. So
Aaron,
thank you for being here, Nikki.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you and Eric and myself we're very much looking forward to the show today, and it did not fail. It was awesome.
Lived up to the hype.
Exactly right. And of course, we want to thank our show producer Eric Campbell. Congratulations on 100 episodes, and thanks for keeping those mics on and the wheels turning to keep this show running every week.
Yeah, definitely. So next week, Sublimation once again. So obviously exciting for me, loving Sublimation, but we've got another Reggie Award winner joining us, Michael Kaminsky from Sublimation 101. He's going to be joining us to talk about product ideas, rebranding existing products, and what to avoid on social media. So always fun to talk to Michael as well, and looking forward to chatting with him next week, Terry.
For anybody who doesn't know, Michael is a very, very big personality, so be prepared. It'll be a lot of fun. Until then, I'm Terry Combs. He's Aaron Montgomery.
And we are the Two Regular Guys.
Here we go. We're out.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening to Two Regular Guys. Check out our website at tworegularguys.com. That's the number 2, regularguys.com. You can also interact with us over at our Facebook page, facebook.com/tworegularguys, or send us a tweet, twitter.com/tworegularguys. And we have a YouTube page. You can find all that from our website, tworegularguys.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to spending some time with you again next week.